folks, this is Andre Matthew, and I'm here again with a new tutorial in building a character action game with the use of Unreal Engine. What I'm going to do is I'm going to show you how I refined my melee combat system. What you see here is very much different from what I have last year. Now that I've refined my combat system thanks to the tutorials of Yuko Millennia. And I have to say, his tutorial did wonders. In addition to that, I'm gonna also be showing you how I refined these special attack inputs for each melee attack. And that's precisely what I'm going to show you in today's tutorial. Alright, now this is what we're going to be doing here. What we need to do is that we need to be able to create a new enumeration, and that enumeration is enumeration states, otherwise known as E-states. What we're going to do is that we're going to right click, blueprint, and enumeration. And we're going to rename it E-states. Inside here, we're going to be needing 2 states for now. This state is where the character does nothing, whereas this one, characters, both player and melee, can do melee attacks. Okay, now that we have that, let's close it. The next thing we're going to do is we're going to be opening our character blueprint. Because the character blueprint is what we're going to be using as opposed to what Yuko Millennia just did. I'm doing this because, well, in my humble opinion, it's much easier. Anyway, we're gonna add a new function. And what we're going to be doing is we're going to rename this function called action states. Yeah. Set or better yet, we're going to name it set current action states. Yeah, set current action state.
Yeah, I'm about to fade away. Cause every time I wake up, I feel like it's Monday. Something's going wrong with all the chemicals up in my brain. All of a sudden, I don't know.
The next thing we're going to be doing is we're going to have to set up another function called get character action state. Or, as I would like to call it, get current action state. Last but not least is current action state equal to any. For a category, I'm going to use what is called FSM, otherwise known as finite state machine. This function should be pure, same as this one. And the next thing I'm going to be doing is add a new variable. And we'll call this current action state. We're going to be using eStates for our variable. Gonna have to keep it private for now. Alright, let's set up our current action state. I'm gonna hold the control key, then drag it right here. Then I'll drag this node and get not equal. Let's change it a little bit. I'm gonna name this action state. Or, better yet, new action state to be precise. I'm gonna hold the B key button and bring out a branch. I'm gonna bring this node out and put it on the true pin of this branch. Bring this node out and get new action state. Alright, this is our current state. Now let's move on to this guy here. Well, it should be obvious enough. Control key to get current action state and bring this out. Yep, simple enough. And the last one is current action state equal to any? Again, control key to get current action state. Only this time, we need something to contain it. Let's drag this right here to bring this out. There we go. So yeah. Put it bluntly, setting up our finite state machine within the character blueprint is what we need from there, because with that we can bring out all that stuff from both the player and enemy AI character. Alright, the next thing we're going to be doing is refining our melee attacks, starting with the light attack. Last year, this is what we originally have, and we're going to remove that, so this goes bye-bye. What we're going to be doing here is that we're going to set up something new here. Let's hold the B key and bring out a branch. And from here, we're going to use this. And from here, we're going to make an array out of it. We're going to use melee attack. The next thing we're going to do is we're going to be able to save standard gonna place a check mark on that. Let's create a new function. And we're going to call this one the ground version of our standard attack. We're going to put FSM on that. Next thing we're going to do, well, I'm going to use this and paste it right here. Bring out a knot. Then bring out a branch. There. What we're going to do next, bring out another function, and we're going to call this the performance version of the standard ground melee attack. All right. This will also be the same category as that. Just to make things less confusing. There we go. Now, what we're gonna do here is get and what we're going to do next is get a copy. I'm gonna delete this before I do anything else from here. This one, 0. All right, let's drag this out. a state integer. Let's bring this one out too. And what I'm gonna do, I'll bring a node from this and connect it to the substate index. I'm gonna bring out a play and a montage. I'll use this to connect the inner montage. I'll increment an integer, and the integer I'll be using is the ground standard combo integer. And I'm going to determine whether this increment is greater than equal to the lengths I have within the combo attack montage. If it's true, then we get this variable. If it's false, don't do anything. We're going to need a print string for us to test out the whole thing and see if it works or not. What's this? Yeah. Bring out this function. Alright. Now, let's see if this whole thing works. Alright, it works, but we need something to improve this process. Hmm. Yeah, we're gonna have to improve that. Alright. So, from this, I'm going to use attack modifier. Alright. And what am I going to do? I'm gonna bring out a branch. I'm gonna set current action state. Let's see if it works. Let's do it again. set this to 0. There. Better than before, but still using the same attack. Okay. Let's use this. Alright, let's see if it works. Alright, now that I got that, I guess I don't need this. see if it works. Okay. Apparently, I got the wrong one. Alright. Let's see if I can manage it without this. Nope. Can't do it without this. Oh, by the way, this is the macro version of Ableton. It uses the same thing as the function version, except you don't move. You can do everything else besides move while doing stuff like attacking. There we go. Now let's see. Let's put this to the test, shall we? Alright. We got that now. Alright. One more thing before I close this video off. There's this one issue that needs addressing concerning the wall jump. Okay, we double jump. we seem to be doing the wall jump. But not to worry, there's a simple solution to that. Let's go back to Event Tick. Okay, so what we need to do is bring out a branch. And then from here, we need to determine if the character is in the air. Or we can use this. Yeah, this one's actually much better. Organize that. Let's see if this whole thing works. Nope. You cannot do the wall jump when you've already double jumped. You can only do the wall jump when you're in the air. And you only do it once. So there we go. We have a refined light melee attack system and a fixed wall jump. Sorry that I neglect doing the special attack input versions of it, but not to worry. I will be covering that later on. For my next video, I'll be doing the same thing with heavy attacks. If you enjoyed this video, please like and subscribe to my channel for future tutorials like this. And remember, what you take and learn from me is yours to do with as you see fit. Peace out, and have a nice day.